I've been previewing quite a few homes lately, and most homes in the $1.5 to $2.5 million range, they start to look very similar online. They've got white kitchens, wide plank floors, beautiful lighting, and very impressive kitchens. And if you've been searching in this price range, you probably noticed that. But every once in a while, there's a home that was built differently, and you can feel it before anyone even has to explain it to you. Hi there, I'm Abby Valencia-Gooding with eXp Luxury and the eXp New Homes Division. I specialize in luxury homes and new construction here in Massachusetts, with a focus on how homes are actually built, positioned, and experienced, not just how they photograph online. And in markets like Natick, Wellesley, and surrounding communities, that difference matters. Because at this level, buyers are not just asking, is this beautiful? They're asking, does this feel worth it? Does this feel special? And most importantly, is this the one? So before we walk through this home, I want to give you a lens to look at it through. At this level, it's not just about square footage anymore. It's not just about having a big kitchen, tall ceilings, or a finished basement. It's about how the home was built, how the choices work together, and whether the overall experience actually holds up in the price bracket it's competing in. From the moment you step inside, you can tell this was not a basic builder-grade home. There's intention in the layout, which is shown by the flow from room to room, the way the natural light moves through the space, and the way certain details make the home feel more substantial. The size of the trim, hand-dipped planks of siding, tray ceilings, oversized doors, doorknobs that actually feel heavy-duty or custom, not big box or store grade. That matters because luxury buyers may fall in love emotionally, but they still compare logically. So when I evaluate a home at this level, I look at it through what I call the 3 C's of selling a luxury home: crafted, chosen, and cherished. And when all 3 are working together, that's when a home becomes much more than just a pretty listing online. Let's start with crafted. Crafted is how the home was built, not just how it looks, but the quality behind it. This is where most people underestimate what they're seeing, because true craftsmanship is not always loud. It's not always the flashiest chandelier or the most dramatic kitchen island. Sometimes it's quieter than that. It's in the weight of the doors, the precision of the trim, the quality of the materials, and the way the finishes meet cleanly, and the feeling that the home was built with intention, not just assembled to hit a price point. This is the difference between a home that looks good in photos and a home that actually feels elevated in person. It's like the difference between something that was simply designed and something that was engineered. Next up is chosen. So what I mean by chosen is whether a buyer walks in and feels like, this is the one. Not one of many, but one they don't want to lose. And this is where pricing, positioning, and buyer psychology really matter. Because no matter how beautiful a home is, it still has to be chosen by the right buyer in the right price bracket. Every luxury market has price bands. For example, there may be a strong buyer pool between $1.5 million and $2.5 million. And then a smaller, more selective buyer pool between $3 and $3.5 million. And once a home crosses that next buyer bracket, buyers don't just expect more, they expect something different. A different level of finish, a different level of design, a different level of privacy, land, layout, location, or overall experience. So when a home's price and its perceived value are not perfectly aligned, that's when hesitation begins. Not because the home isn't beautiful, but because buyers are comparing it to everything else in that same price bracket. And we all do this, right? Like you pass a gas station and you see $4.39 a gallon and suddenly you think, I'm gonna keep driving. Or maybe you shop for a car that you've been wanting for months, but after you see the car in person and take it for a test drive, the overall package just doesn't feel right. for the price. So you say, you know what, I'll think about it. And for my jewelry lovers out there, you can see something beautiful in the case and try it on and still think, oh, it's pretty, but it doesn't feel substantial enough for the price that they're asking. That same psychology happens in luxury real estate. Buyers may love the home, but if the value doesn't feel aligned with the price bracket, they hesitate. And hesitation is where momentum gets lost. And finally, there's cherished. Cherished is whether the home creates a lifestyle that someone actually wants to hold on to, because that's what drives long-term value. At this level, buyers are not just buying bedrooms, bathrooms, and square footage. They're choosing how they want to live. They're imagining holidays here, family dinners, quiet mornings, entertaining friends, pulling into the driveway and feeling proud to come home. And the homes that ultimately win in this market are the ones that don't check all the boxes. They create the emotional connection that makes someone say, this is the one. And that's what makes a home like this so interesting. The craftsmanship is there. The intention is there. And for the right buyer, this is the kind of home that doesn't need to compete loudly. It stands out quietly, but powerfully. And in luxury real estate, that can be the difference between being seen and being chosen. If you're a buyer looking in this price range and you want to understand what actually makes a home worth its price, beyond just the photos and the finishes, I'd be happy to walk you through that process. And if you're planning to sell, build, or reposition a luxury home in this market, understanding the difference between crafted, chosen, and cherished can make a significant difference in how your home performs. Because luxury is not just about what you build, it's about how the buyer perceives it. So, if you're planning to sell, build, or reposition a home in this price range, and you want to understand how it's going to be perceived in today's market, go ahead and click the link below to book a call with me. I'll walk you through how I'd evaluate it using the crafted, chosen, and cherished framework. I'm Abby Valencia-Gooding with eXp Luxury and the eXp New Homes division, and I'll see you in the next video.